I'm gonna hit you so hard you won't see nothing. Ever, 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 ever.
Audio skulls all day.
The lyric scientist lab. This guy, he's sleeping.
No, dude, shit. I just literally looked away. I looked away for 1 second. You had the thing up, and I looked away because I speak out.
Well, you were doing this while I was at 2, which means all silence.
Yeah, I know, and that's why I stopped. And
we need like a button that's fucking letting you know, like, hey, shut the fuck up. Now go.
Yeah, folks, and if I don't shut the fuck up, then we would never have a podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 228 of the Mad Scientist Lab podcast.
Okay, hold on.
Did I fuck it up?
Hold on.
I already forgot.
Look,
forgot already.
guys.
I forgot already.
I want to let everybody know.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
This guy asked me about 5 minutes ago, while I was setting up the other camera, what episode this was. And I said 227. He thought we were on like 229 or some shit. And I said, no, it's 227. So then I finally get set up. We're almost ready to go. 2 minutes later, he asked me, what's this, 226? No, I just told you 2 minutes ago, 227. And then we get on here, and he fucking shits the bed and says we're on like fucking 3,800.
I apologize, folks, for my inadequate manner of not being able to retain information, as we like to say that professionally.
That's crazy. That's not even retaining information. That's just memory. You know what that is? That's too much weed.
I haven't smoked in a week.
That doesn't mean that. It's already affected your fucking your short-term memory.
If I had to agree with you, I would right now, and I will. And
what's in that vape?
Tobacco. Or nicotine, and not tobacco, but no. No, you know what's crazy? As somebody who is a very adamant, I guess, connoisseur of, Mary Jane, I haven't smoked in a week. It's kind of weird. Like, I don't know.
It just makes you anxious and paranoid anyway.
Well, for somebody like myself.
And everybody always talk about different strains and this shit. Like, no, motherfucker. They all do the same fucking thing. I get paranoid, so I just stay away from it.
Well, no, I do agree with that to a degree, because I have definitely smoked some Mary Jane in my life where I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. And, I feel like I could, fucking paint, what is it, the Picasso kind of thing. And then there has been times in my life where I've smoked weed and I felt like I was literally being looked at by the government through a lens.
Oh, that happens every fucking time.
Yeah.
I think it was because of the circumstances that I was smoking at certain times in my life.
And
I felt like I was being watched the whole time, so
yeah.
Maybe it just spread along. Plus, you grow up with the stigma that weed has. Like, younger people, they don't really have the same stigma because
they do not. I 100% agree with that.
They don't have DARE in school. They didn't have a fucking police officer coming in your fucking classroom every month saying,
do you know what the world needs
don't
to
do drugs. Here's what weed looks like. Here's what marijuana looks like here, or here's what heroin looks like. I don't know what that is. It was like fucking Pez tablets or some shit you have in a bag, sir. It's not even the real thing.
You know what the problem with the world is nowadays is there's no discipline anywhere at all in any capacity.
I think the bigger thing, there's no accountability. Like, no one wants to take accountability for anything. They want to pawn the accountability off on someone else. Like, you didn't call me by my right and I'm going straight into politics.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
You didn't call me by my right pronoun.
Let them cook.
You didn't call me I don't know. Just it's a lot of shit where the other person has the onus put on them when people should just be like, hey, this is who I am. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I shouldn't have to, like, I don't know. I should not have to, I'm not responsible for someone else's feelings unless I'm directly the direct cause of said feeling.
Yeah, okay. No, I 100% agree with that. And folks, and Jared is not wrong. And we don't do this very often on this show. I 110% agree with Jared.
What do you mean? You keep saying, every time you agree with something, you say we don't do this often, but we do it a lot because you say that a lot.
When it comes to certain things, I mean, our fandom for certain things, I think, should be natural to begin with. But when it comes to I guess, like, broader topic, so to speak, then, yeah, dude, I'm 100% with you, man. I'm 100% with you.
I don't know what the fuck he just said, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I feel it sounded smart in my head, put it that way.
No, I said you. You say you. See that again. You think I'm supposed to understand what the fuck you saying when you didn't articulate it correctly, I guess. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I do you know, but you're right, but
expand your vocabulary.
Do you know what's crazy? My vocabulary is very vast, and there's a joke that goes around at my job that says RJ is only limited to 750 words a day because that's how good I am at talking to people. I am too goddamn.
So then use them.
Oh, dude, I
use them here. No, you don't have to use them just at work.
Well, I'm sober at work. When I'm with you, I'm typically drunk, and we have a good time.
That's still not an excuse.
I am just trying to cushion the fall, I guess, for my own self.
Well, you know what though? I read something recently, not read it, but I've heard it plenty of times, but I never took it into account, and maybe I should, because basically it says most Americans don't read above a 5th grade level.
That's crazy to me, dude.
Yeah. So I wonder if like even our descriptions or how we say stuff
goes over people's heads.
Sometimes maybe that's why they're not like, well, this is a little too much for me.
Dude, you know what? That's crazy because do you know what's something that I took pride in as a child? Literally, like, you know, I was a big avid reader when I was a kid. I love books. I love mysteries. I love novels.
Hated reading. I still hate reading.
Dude, I love a good book. I really do.
I say that, but then I used to read the shit out of those choose your own adventure books.
Oh yeah, because it opens up your imagination. Yeah, exactly. And I think with a book, and there's a quote somewhere I read somewhere in high school that said there was a guy that was like in prison for his whole life, and he said, "My imagination has taken me places that I would have never gone because I opened a book." And so even though I'm not as much of an avid reader of a novel nowadays, I just like you and everybody else, I read articles on the internet or I read.
I've been trying to read more nonfiction. I've been trying to get back into books. I have plenty of books in my house. It's like, what am I like? Every time I'm sitting there, I'm bored. I'm trying to find something on Netflix. I should be or fucking wherever. I should just fucking pick up a book and read that shit.
And it's hard too, dude. Trust me. And
especially I got to dig my books out.
Yeah, it's something that, you know, it's not very, it's kind of not the norm anymore, dude. Like in any, like,
but there's still no excuses, especially if you have Prime, because I just found out recently that Prime has, you get one free book a month.
Really?
Yeah. Like, so I was thinking, I was like, maybe I should get a cheap Kindle and just get a book and maybe read one book a month.
Dude, I think
I had to make sure I got to be interested. I'm not going to finish it.
Well, yeah, and it's hard, and I think that the interest in a story is a very broad topic because I was actually talking to my mom about this. Maybe 2-3 nights ago. It kind of goes into wrestling a little bit, but I am a fan of good storytelling in any capacity.
You say that all the time.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think you're the only one.
And I'm also a person who will kind of, just like you, if I'm 10 minutes, 15 minutes into something, I'm going to be like, all right, I'll give it a chance. But once I hit that first half hour, I'm like, you know what?
Well, I think I'll go a little deeper. Like Yellowstone, everybody raves about Yellowstone, but I think I gave it like 2.5, 3 episodes, and I was just like, nah, this ain't it.
So I will say this about that show. It does start slow. I think the end of the first season and the second season are incredible. The rest of it is not bad, but it becomes a little...
I like the prequels better. 1883 and I forgot what, 1983 maybe?
Yeah, because it's real cowboy shit. Not
this Old West.
Yeah, it's not this
we had a
fabricated... Put it this way, it's not poppy like everybody's ragging on Beyonce for making country music. Put it that way.
Well, we're not going to get into that.
No, and I won't. I still like the song, by the way.
Well, no, her whole album just came out. It's called Country Carter.
Country Carter?
Yeah, it just came out.
All right.
But yeah, so it's funny, we had a question and trivia this week on 1883. It was like, on the show 1883, what famous country couple are the mom or the great grandfather and great grandmother of, I forget, I guess whatever Kevin Costner's character is.
The Duttons.
Yeah. And like I knew the answer. I couldn't remember her name, but I knew his name right away. But then Dan was like, "Yeah, Faith Hill." I was like, "Okay, so Tim McGraw and Faith Hill." Like everybody else was thinking, like you could see all the other teams like, "Oh, what?" We walked right up before he was done with the question.
Dude, that's good, dude. It's good to know your shit.
That's because that's a good show. And then when I found out that was Tim McGraw and how good of a job he did, I just found out that he was in what movie did he say he was in? He was something in another movie, like the father in another movie. I don't remember what it was, but anyway, I didn't realize it was him, and I'm like, oh shit, this motherfucker. Let me see. I'll look at it.
Here, pull it up, and it's crazy.
Thanks. I was gonna do that, RJ.
No, well, while Jared pulls that up, I'm gonna give Tim McGraw and Faith Hill their flowers because you got people who are talented on a musical level, and then they turn it 180 degrees, and they just kind of shock you with
artists can art. That's just what that is.
I think that's fair, and I compare that to somebody like, The Rock, respectfully.
Well, that's not all his movies are.
No.
He's not the best actor.
No, and I agree, but I'm just saying if you can do one and you can maybe do another.
Blindside, he was the husband in Blindside, and I didn't. I just
Holy
now realized
shit.
it. Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, I knew it. I just forgot.
I don't think I knew that at all. I love this movie. This is an incredible film. Sandra Bullock, shout out Arlington, VA, by the way.
Well, you heard about that, all the stuff that was going on with that, right?
Yes, I did. And but that's the problem.
What up, Londa?
We're talking about accountability. And you have a very inspirational film based on true events, and it's probably got, here or there loose leaf baseness. And then you got this guy coming out saying, "Oh, hey, none of this ever happened." It's like, what the fuck? It's like,
wait. What do you mean none of this ever? Who said that?
So wasn't he basically saying that he didn't give these people the rights to make this movie? If I'm not mistaken,
he was saying he didn't get basically any money.
Oh, okay.
Like
it was a while ago.
Basically, it was saying that the whole thing. What he was saying was, yeah, they helped him, but they also guided him in the direction that they wanted so that they could make money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like even making him go to you kind of see it in the movie, to be honest.
No, I got you.
It's
coming back to me now.
How they were trying to guide him to go to their school. And it makes it like it didn't click for me when I actually saw the movie. But now that he said that, like straight up, like it was like, oh, because they were booster people on the thing, so they would have got money out of that shit.
Everything, dude, the money is the root of all evil. And I hope that we live in a society one day where it never matters.
All right, I'm going to need you not to use any more cliches for the rest of the show.
I'm just trying. I will do that. Well, I'm going to try not to do that. If that
I know. So it ain't no more, whatever the fuck you just said, ain't no more. With that being said, and at the end of the day. And you know what? We should have a tally somewhere. Actually, I do need to get my.
Do you need
my
a pencil?
notebook.
Because I have a big one.
I have
All
everything I need over there.
Okay. So I'm going to do you a favor, and I'm going to attempt to do this. And as Jared gets up, folks, I just want everybody to know you can catch us anywhere you get your podcasts. That is Apple Music, Spotify, anywhere you get your audio. And you can catch us Monday, 9 a.m. sharp on YouTube for the visual. Here every Saturday around 6:30 p.m.-ish on Twitch. Welcome back, Jared.
This is a podcast, not a radio show.
Well, I don't know. I want to plug us
I'm
in.
bugging you. I'm bugging you today, buddy.
No, all right. Dude, I'm so glad you're here. Dude,
I haven't heard from you all week. Didn't until today. So, you know what I'm saying, RJ? I think I'm starting to see where this is going.
You think I'm an alcoholic?
No.
You think I'm a raging homophobic motherfucker?
I don't know what that means, but
no, and I'm not, by the way. Be gay. All right.
Jesus
Please.
Christ.
Well, I'm just saying, be gay.
All right, moving on.
No, and here, hear me out, brother, please. Okay, you want to hear something, bro? No. I have in recent weeks especially after last weekend. And I just personally want to say thank you, and I won't elaborate any further than that for just being my brother, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
And with the cool things I'm going to be doing here in the next week, I'm obviously very excited. I think for the first time in a long time, I am happy. And
that's the goal.
Yeah, it is the goal. And I wouldn't have been able to go down the rabbit hole the way I did without your help. So just please remember that. I'm not trying to be soft or anything like that.
Motherfucking therapy session again.
No, it's not. I'm just saying, dude, this show is...
This is shit you tell me off air.
That is true.
This is not a comedy podcast when you're fucking doing shit like that.
I understand that. No, and I do, and I'm sorry if I'm deviating from the path that we are supposed to be going down.
You should be sorry once you've offended all these people out here.
All the gay all the gay people.
Oh my God, what is wrong with him?
No, I love the gays.
I'm talking about everybody watching, man.
Oh, dude, I love our fans. I love you. All right,
fucking guy.
No, and
drink more.
I am. I'm going to, because it helps me ease.
Last week, at least you were loose last week. Good God.
I had a great time last week. Honestly, we had a good time at that party.
Oh, no. I tell you what. No, I tell you what. I'm glad I didn't have to get up and fucking go to no fucking party today and be drunk, do a podcast, and then after party afterwards.
Dude, you know, it's crazy. So I ran into a friend of ours last night. And I just stopped by our local watering hole, and he just happened to be there. And I said, "Hey, what's up, man?" He said, "What are you doing here?" I said, "Hey, long week at work. I figured I'd come in for a beer or two." And I just wanted to take it easy. And we chopped it up a little bit. And I asked him, I said, "Hey, man, what'd you do when you left the party last week?" And he told me this crazy fucking story. He was like, "I don't know how I got to this point, but I was there." And this was like probably 8 hours after me and you left the fucking, the venue. And what did I say last week? Before we even started the show, I said, "I'm so glad we're doing the podcast, but because we're probably going to end up in fucking Timbuktu." And guess where that guy ended up? Timbuktu. He had a good time. He's safe. He's good. But
I don't know. Neither me or anybody knows what the fuck you're talking about. I mean, you don't have to give any details, but
no. And I'm not. I was just saying, because me and you,
I ended up going somewhere. I didn't go home after this.
I know. I know that. And this is more so on my accountability. That one of the reasons I'm glad we did the podcast is because, when me and you go out, me and you always have a great time, no matter where we go. And it's like, I don't want to do all this today.
I don't know. I feel like you're putting way too much weight on it, because we were going to do the podcast regardless. So I don't understand.
No, but what I'm saying is I'm glad that the podcast interrupted all the partying, because if we would have continued to party, we would end up in Timbuktu.
Oh, yeah. Well, at the same time, I can't handle like I used to, like the way they were going. And by the time I got to where everything was going down, the star of the show was fucking down for the count. So,
dude, kudos to her, and all that other stuff. But but I agree with you. We are kind of getting up there in age, and we are not the cool kids in the hallway anymore that jack lockers.
Speak for yourself.
First of all, I'm the coolest motherfucker here.
I doubt that one.
Yeah, I try to be, at least in my own head. Just saying.
I'll put a poll up right now.
Yeah. Please do. Actually, I don't even want you to do that, because I already know the results.
Oh, yeah, we all know the results.
I am the most roastable man on the internet, dude. It's fucking
terrible. That's because you don't roast back. That's the same thing with like bullies in school. Like if you don't stand up to a bully, and I'm not saying that I'm bullying you or any of us are bullying you. What we're saying is, like, it's the same principle. If you're being roasted and you don't ever stand up for yourself, then you're going to continue to get roasted.
Yeah. Well, dude, I work with a bunch of technicians, and I'm going to tell you.
And you don't roast them back.
Oh, dude, I roast the fuck out of those guys. Don't worry. No, they do.
We're going to have to get one of those guys on here to get the real scoop, because I don't believe you.
You know what? I have the perfect individual for that.
Yeah, these people don't ever show up.
No. This gentleman, believe it or not, I've actually never asked him. And I don't know why I haven't, but I'm pretty sure he'd be more than happy to come over. And
well, I mean, again, I don't believe it. Every time, I asked my buddy from work to come over, and never seen one of them.
Do you know the hard thing about being a decent human being is, Jared, is that you got to deal with a lot of shit. You do too. You do too. This is everybody that is a good-hearted individual. You want to go out. You want to make the best impression.
This motherfucker just called us the cool uncles. How dare you, sir?
Who's an uncle?
Londa called us the cool uncles.
Well, we like you, so we will not elaborate any further on that. I mean, shit. I guess we would be cool uncles. I guess now that I think about it.
Damn whippersnappers.
Yeah, dude, at the cookout and all that shit, and we are getting to that level of weather where that is a very big possibility.
Okay, relax.
I'm just saying.
That's here. I don't know about his latitude and longitude.
Yeah, I mean, dude, if it's cold over there, my bad.
I mean, I think it gets warm, but it's not as warm as it gets here.
Well, I mean, we are getting into a time of year, and you guys can tell clearly by our apparel. Baseball's happening. And that's
speaking of, that's why everybody's, if you are wondering why we have all our Washington Nationals gear on, is because opening day, the day that this comes out on YouTube for the Nationals, is
Monday,
which would be, if you're watching on YouTube right now, today.
Yeah.
So there.
And they're playing the Pirates, dude. I'm so mad that I didn't take the days off before. I'm so pissed. Yeah, dude.
I bought first of all, I've been trying to get this group together for a month, and everybody's been fucking, oh yeah, I want to go. Oh yeah, I want to go. Oh yeah, I want to go. And then try to get the ticket stuff together. Everybody's like hemming and hawing, and I just said the other day, somebody was asking me, are you still going to go? I was like, tickets are blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, I think I'm just going to get my ticket. Just because I was tired of fucking playing around.
Yeah, no, and
I'll go by myself. I'm sure I'll see somebody I know. I'll just go, show up, sit in my seat. I got our normal spot that we always sit in.
Dude, I love sitting in right field with you. I do.
Well, the thing is everybody's worried about it raining. And yeah, it's rain is in the forecast. But again,
tell them to stop being a pussy.
Hold on. Our seat, where we know where to sit, is covered. As long as we get far enough back, it's usually covered. So I'm not tripping.
Yeah, and
I don't have to stay in the fucking seat.
And it's funny you say that, dude. I feel like every time we go to the park, we do run into somebody we know. Like,
well, I mean, it's the DC area.
Yeah, so. I mean, I think it was opening day.
And there's 50,000 people.
Dude, it was opening day last year. Me and you were sitting there.
No, it was 25,000. I think during the playoffs, it was like, what's the capacity in it?
Oh, here, pull that up. Well, Jared pulls that up. So
oh, my God. Stop saying that.
It's a cliche that I'm not allowed to use anymore.
Yeah.
But we were at opening day last year, which was a blast. Nats lost. That happens. It's baseball. But, dude, me and Jared are sitting there in the sun. Got our IPAs in our hand, our stale-ass peanuts, and we're like, and we hear a, hey! And we turn around, 4 rows back.
41,000.
There's somebody we know locally. Like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? I'm watching baseball.
Yeah, what do you mean? What are you doing here?
I'm watching a baseball game.
It's 41,000 people.
Dude, I think you're right. I think every time we go to the park,
I know that because I know the amount of people who like baseball, especially now that we have it in this area. Well, I know it's been almost 20 years, at least 20 years now. But yeah, I mean, everybody fucking, if they have the opportunity, and this is a later game, so more people will have the opportunity to go as opposed to last year it was 1:00.
Dude, me and you were toast by like 4, dude. By the end of the game, we were. I had such a great time.
I got one meeting in the morning and I'm rolling,
dude. Good,
because because you know why? Because they got a reversible bucket hat.
Are you serious?
One side has the the W with the cherry blossom, and the other side has it says a bunch of Nationals with pin fed. It's like,
I am insanely jealous right now. Just as jealous as I am.
Asked you a month ago.
As you get to listen to the local radio guys in your earpiece.
Oh yeah,
I am so jealous.
Exactly, you should be.
I am, and while we're on the internet, folks, fuck Jared.
Why did I think that I went to opening? Maybe because he asked me about tickets this year. I thought I went with Sean, but I guess that was a later game. I know we did the Diamond Club at some point.
No. I know. I remember when you guys did that.
It was you. I thought who was what? Oh no, it was you.
It was the day after
Dina,
the shooting.
No.
Oh, okay.
It was
maybe
you, Dina, and another buddy of ours. Okay, so yeah, it was us four. Oh yeah, because that's actually the day I got this. So.
Yeah, and that is a very fly ass sweater. If you don't like that sweater, you can get out of town.
Actually, one of my favorite sweaters,
dude. I mean, I would wear it. I would use it as a blanket if I could.
The full new era, new era fit,
dude. Looking good in your gear, sir. It's baseball season, folks. Let's play ball.
Let's see if they can do something this year.
And it's funny.
They got some good players, man.
Yeah,
what's his name? I forgot his name already. Number 2 overall pick, already hitting home runs in the fucking spring games.
Dude, I think we're gonna low key be a sleeper hit this year.
I said last year I said I'd give them 2 years. I think they'll be in a good place. So they're gonna hopefully, as long as they improve this year, next year they're gonna be in contention.
Yeah, and
they just got to get some experience. They may get to the playoffs.
Yeah,
next year. But I don't think they're gonna do much because none of the guys. It's a very young team. You know what I'm saying,
dude? Baseball is respectfully probably one of the hardest sports to go deep into a playoff run.
We've said that,
and we've talked about it a lot.
I think we said hockey was the.
I still think the Stanley Cup is the hardest trophy one. I really do. That's just, I think, just because of the amount of games and the physicality of it. That's really what boils down to.
But I think it's more the account. They play the same amount of games as the NBA. Well, actually, maybe a little more. But
I think they play maybe 6 or 7 games more than a normal basketball season.
And a lot of those games might end up going the full 7.
Yeah.
Like in the NBA, they could go 4, depending on how dominant each team is, but they may not. Like, you're not going to go 7 games every part of the series in the NBA. But in the NHL, you were probably, and that first round is even 7 games.
Yeah.
So, like, you're definitely playing more games.
Yeah, it's a very cutthroat. And while we're talking about hockey, man, shout out to the grade 8 Ovi. Dude, he's
starting to slow down, but he might get that record. We'll see.
I'm going to tell you something. If we witness that, and I think we will, I think that is going to be one of the proudest moments in DC sports that we're ever going to have.
I agree with that.
I mean, just in general.
Aside from the cup.
Yeah, dude.
Relax.
Dude,
from the cup.
The cup. Put it this way, folks, and I'll elaborate very shortly. You live in a town that's been we live in the town. We live in the nation's capital. I mean,
this nation's capital.
Yeah, that is correct. For somebody to hoist a trophy for the first time in 30 years, no matter what sport it is, it was a very monumental moment.
Yeah, again, that's still because you're a young buck. You haven't been around for many.
I know.
I actually remember going. A very faint memory of going to one of the parades for the Redskins when I was a kid.
I'm glad you got to do that, dude, because I'm gonna tell you something. I love sports. I'm a very not to sound weird about it, but I'm a very emotional guy when it comes to that stuff. My family's from Pittsburgh, man. Like, that shit is a whole
here you go
situation. But when that happened and we were all collectively together in one place and got to enjoy that moment for the several days that we did, that was the coolest shit in the world, dude. It really was. It really, really was. And then the Nationals winning the World Series the year. Oh, come on, man.
It was 2 years later.
Just phenomenal, man. I mean, we were really, really as a town, as a city, as a whatever you want to call it, the DMV area, we were really blessed to witness that in person and to experience that. That is what sports is all about, and I'm so glad we got to experience that.
You know what I'm afraid of?
What's that?
Lucky's is closed, and we might not ever see anything ever again. Because a lot of that stuff was connected to Lucky's.
A lot, dude. Shout out to probably the greatest bar in
America. We're keeping it up. We're keeping it alive. When I play trivia every week, we call the team is called Lucky's. The team is called Lucky's for Life. So.
Dude, Lucky's for life, dude. And
somebody came up to me, one of our buddies. He was like, he came up to me. He was like, "What's your guys' name this week?" I'm like, "Lucky's for Life." He was like, "Again?" I'm like, "The fuck you mean? That's that name every week."
Yeah, dude. There is no. Cut that silly shit off.
That's like saying, I'm a Redskins fan. Now I'm a Commanders fan. Again?
Yeah.
Or I don't know.
Hey,
That doesn't
like,
make
get your
sense.
shit together.
See what I'm saying? It doesn't even make sense.
And unfortunately, and I'm going to be super brief with this. Actually, I'm not. We are unfortunately getting to that time of year where we have to say cheers to our good friend, Mr. Jeffrey Aguilar. Rest in peace, brother.
Oh. Well, yeah, I guess it is this. Yeah, it's this week.
So, hey, the only cheers to Mr. Jeffrey Aguilar. We love you, brother. Rest in peace. So when you get into that, it's funny you say that. So
I like this blue. This blue is kind of cool.
Dude, our new
especially on this shit.
Oh, dude. And let us know if you like the background, folks. We're doing
the background's the same. It's just we changed the color.
Yeah, it looks dope.
The light
bro.
color.
It looks like we're like raising up. Like,
no, it looks better. It's more of a contrast than the other shit was.
So hey, we live and we learn.
Relax. Stop with the fucking cliches.
I can't help it. I'm white.
No, that's not what it is.
I'm drunk.
You're not.
Not yet.
That's what I'm saying. So relax. Can we get into the show? Like, we're talking about old shit.
Yeah, we are talking about old shit. Do you know what's really fucking cool, Jared? Do you know what's really fucking cool?
What's that?
Is X-Men 97.
Oh, yeah.
That is fucking cool.
Can I correct you? X-Men in general is cool.
That is
it's cool.
Yes,
Cut me off on there.
I'm sorry, but you are correct. Yes, X-Men in general is badass.
And actually, the show X-Men 97 has brought back my fucking love for the X-Men. I forgot how much I like the X-Men because I grew up like watching like Superman and Friends and all those cartoons and stuff. But when X-Men the cartoon or animated series came out, I felt like I could be a part of the crew of kids who were actually reading the comic books because my mom wouldn't buy me because I didn't even know about comic books at the time or graphic novels, whatever. I just saw kids bringing them to work or to work. That's how old I am. Bringing them to school. So I'd be like, we'd be talking about it, and I felt like just because I watched the show, I knew at least what powers each person had, and then I kind of fill in the gaps with the people who were reading the comic books.
Yeah.
So, like, I forgot how much X-Men was, like, a part of that time in my life. And, like, this show brought it way back. And I'm like, now I want X-Men T-shirts. Like, I'm about to get a new Rockstar. New Rockstar has some cool shirts that they made.
I'm getting a lunchbox, bro.
I'm not getting a lunchbox. I don't want no fucking lunchbox.
I'm buying a lunchbox.
My name is not Dave Bautista. The fuck do I want a lunchbox for?
Batista bomb, motherfuckers. Anyway.
I just found out the reason. When I found out recently that he collects lunchbox, I figured out why another friend of mine, he's been on the show before, why he collects them. I was like, oh, you collect these because this guy collects them. I was like, you copycat ass bitch.
You soft motherfucker.
I wouldn't say soft, just a copycat ass bitch.
But shout out to that gentleman, by the way. No, but I'm gonna tell you, man. I think, and I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I think in the recent years of all the good shit that me and you have seen, and this includes everybody else.
Yeah, I feel like you say that about every new thing that comes out.
I do, but I do. But this is as close to home as I think we're ever gonna get. I think we talk about nostalgia on the show a lot, and
I'm sorry, we talk about what?
Nostalgia.
Say it one more time.
Nostalgia.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
you said nostalgia before.
Oh, did I? Oh shit, my bad. I'm sorry.
That's what I said. We talk about nostalgia.
Well, I mean,
hey, nostalgia.
Yeah.
That nostalgia, I'm telling you, it's a hell of a thing.
Forget about it. Anyway,
I just turned Italian all of a sudden.
Yeah, I think it is as close to as fan service as I think we're ever gonna get.
No. It's not fan service. It's a continuation of something that I think a lot of people are probably like, why did this ever leave the air?
And it shouldn't have. And I agree with that.
I agree. And I don't know what the circumstances were behind it, why it was taken off the air or But that now that we have, I'll go out on this limb. I think we're gonna start to see Marvel go farther into the animated area. Because even if you watch the beginning of it, they have a whole new banner, Marvel Animation. So it's a whole new branch of Marvel now, as opposed to Marvel. What do they call it? Marvel movie? What does it say?
It says
Swallow the fucking.
I'm doing everything wrong today, folks. Well, it's the cinematic universe, obviously.
Marvel Cinema. That's what it is. But I think people are kind of like over the now. I say that I think people are over the live action stuff. I think if they bring this shit to live action, I'm curious to see how they're gonna do it, but I really want to see like a live action Cyclops. I want to see a live action. Have we seen a live action Cyclops?
I mean,
First Class, maybe.
Yeah, First Class. I mean, in the capacity that he's being used currently, Cyclops is getting his flowers, in my opinion.
No. I'm not talking about the animation. I'm not talking about the new show. I'm saying any of the live action movies that have come out when Fox owned them, or I think Sony may have had them for a while. I don't remember. Has Cyclops been in any of those?
Yeah, he's in the original. He's in the first 3 movies.
Well, okay, so he wasn't a big deal then. Oh yeah, I do remember now. Yeah, he wasn't.
Do you know why? Because when
they fucked Gambit over, like no, they need to do this shit like the show. They need to have. I don't know. I just don't feel like
no, but
never
you're
hit like
but no. But you're right. So as a kid, my dad, and I think I can speak for you and probably a lot of people. One of your favorite.
I'll speak for myself, but
I know you will, sir. Don't worry. I'm not doubting that in my mind whatsoever. But a lot of people, growing up watching the animation, dude, I'm a massive Wolverine fan. Dude.
Well, I mean, he was my favorite again. But when I was looking at other kids when they brought their comic book to school, I would see Wolverine, and I'm like, of course, yeah, Wolverine's my favorite. But Gambit is not far behind him.
Dude, Gambit is a fucking badass.
And
dude.
Magneto, on the opposite side, he was my favorite. I don't like this new Magneto. I can't stand his fucking hair. Like it's really throwing me off. His whole outfit is throwing me off. It's throwing me the fuck off.
I think they're kind of leading it into a point because I think they're doing it on purpose. I think there's going to be a point in time.
Well, he's still there in the opening scenes. He still has his old uniform.
Yeah, so I think at some point in time he's going to shave his head or cut his hair, and he's going to don the old helmet because we saw it in the first episode.
Yeah,
and I think that's what that's leading to, and I don't want to overly dabble on that aspect in particular because the reason being because I have the same.
In particular,
yeah, dude, yeah. Forget about it. Anyway, I know what these guys are doing. They are giving us what we want in a manner that we might not want it in. It's like, oh, hey, this is Magneto. It's like, that's not Magneto. There's no fucking way that's Magneto.
Again, I don't think this is so much fan service. I don't think this is like, oh, we're just going to give the people what they want. I think this is
the original story arc?
I think this is. What do you mean a story? How is it the original story arc? It's
I mean,
already different, but this is again it's just a continuation of the original series. Everything's gonna be different. Like I think what you're thinking is like, okay, this is gonna be the exact same thing. What I think this is a strategic ploy to kind of correct things as far as the timelines and how everything, because you got to remember, there was a whole bunch of shit when Fox owned them that came out. Granted, all those movies were good with the original, Professor X and Patrick Stewart and all them.
Shout out to Charles Xavier, by the way.
Kelsey Grammer and all them. Yeah, cool. That was cool. But between this, Deadpool, and maybe even the Marvels, I saw it. there are clear corrections in the timelines so they can make everything come together. And Loki is part of that whole thing too. So I'm telling you, they're correcting this whole thing. So I don't think it's just fan service. I think it's a deliberate move to correct or fill holes that the old stories had.
Yeah. No, actually, dude, that's a very elaborate way of looking at it.
And this Deadpool movie that's coming out is a major part in that, because Deadpool because he can break the fourth wall, he's gonna be the one. That's why you even see the TVA in it.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to be the one going in and helping correct.
Dude, that movie's going to be awesome.
It's going to be crazy.
Dude, I am so... Dude, I don't think I've been pumped for a Marvel movie in a long time as much as I am for that.
You got to remember, aside from Iron Man, Deadpool is probably the best. I don't want to say the best. Standalone as a character, Deadpool was the next best.
I mean, dude, yeah, but you're talking about breaking the fourth wall. And, something that, back in the day.
That's the thing with Deadpool, is he can do things that nobody else can do. Everybody else, except for maybe Bishop. Bishop can go in between time, but
that's my motherfucking guy.
But he's still limited to
his Bishop, bracelet and all that other stuff. Yeah, I know.
But if Deadpool cannot die, pretty much, and he can break the fourth wall, and he's working with the TVA, that motherfucker's gonna be a force. Like, I wish we were getting Kang the Conqueror, because that would be a cool battle. Dude, Kang the Conqueror and Deadpool, bro.
Ah, man, dude, I am so disappointed. And you know what's crazy? Now that you say that, that might be like the little seed from the ripple effect of that unfortunateness.
Well, they're going to have to correct it at some point. I don't know how they're going to do it yet.
I don't like it either, and I think it's horse shit, personally.
I mean, we all think it's horse shit, but what can you do? I think that would have been the battle. I don't think it would have been. We already saw Wolverine, Weapon X, which is basically Deadpool. I remember that too, when they were talking about building Weapon X. And I think he would have ended up showing up in the animated series too.
Because I was talking to somebody, this was actually last week.
If I recall, the original animated series, they were talking about Weapon X, right?
Yes, absolutely.
But he wasn't built yet.
No, not at all.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that I wasn't crazy on that.
And I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to tell all of our loyal listeners and viewers out there, I don't know a lot, but one thing I know is fucking X-Men, dude. Because, and it's funny that we bring this up, or well, not funny, but when it comes to Marvel, the only people I really think of initially off the top of my head is the X-Men. It's not Iron Man, it's not War Machine.
Same here.
Yeah, well,
No, I agree, because again, those people were all kind of the older. X-Men was I think late 80s, early 90s thing. So we would have been more exposed to them as opposed to Superman, Iron Man. Well, it says Superman, but that's DC, or let's say Iron Man or
the Hulk, maybe
the Hulk or Fantastic. And I kind of, when I was growing up, I got a little bit of it, but it was from whatever was on cartoons. It wasn't anything that had to do with comic books. I didn't ever read the comic book.
And I agree with that. I do, because my first introduction to Marvel, like most people, was with the X-Men animated series. I mean, dude, Wolverine's one of my favorite superheroes for a reason. Yeah. You know what I mean? And when, I guess, the Marvel Universe, when we've got Captain America, Iron Man, who is it? Hawkeye, it's like, shit, I didn't watch this in a cartoon. I watched an Iron Man cartoon. I saw the Hulk in a couple of episodes of whatever other Marvel characters going on other than Spider-Man.
The Amazing Spider-Man. Yeah. Spider-Man, was it called The Amazing Spider-Man? I know there was Amazing Spider-Man, and then there was another one.
No, The Amazing Spider-Man is, I think, the original animated series with the...
but then there was one that was Saturday morning cartoons that was, I think it came on just before X-Men. I just can't remember the name.
And so, but you got to remember, and for everybody listening, is that like time slot, that 1 hour of time, those 30 minutes in two increments.
No, it was an hour.
Yeah,
because you had Spider-Man, then you had X-Men.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like you got.
But I like the X-Men way more than I like Spider-Man. Spider-Man was just on, so I would be like, all right, let me watch this and see what Peter Parker's doing. But it still gave me the basis of who these people are. So then when the movies came out, it was like, oh, that's Aunt May, that's Uncle Ben, blah blah blah.
Yeah, you get introduced to these characters just like I am.
Yeah,
and I think the one thing we were talking about Cyclops. I think the one thing when the original X-Men movie came out way in 2000, year 2000, that was a long time ago.
It was the year 2000.
Is that the basis of the original film? That's
a Conan.
Wolverine met Rogue. That is how that movie starts. It doesn't focus on Cyclops, Storm, who is a super badass, by the way. Doesn't focus on Jubilee, Beast, or Gambit.
But it does make sense that he meets her first. I never figured out if that was. I always thought that was Jubilee. I could never figure out if that was Rogue.
Well, it's the only reason I know it's Rogue, and I mean probably
the
at this
hair?
point. Well, yeah, dude, she got.
No, I know, but she just never seemed like that. She didn't seem like what I knew as Rogue.
No, and I agree with that. And this is not the weirdo internet nerds that are worried about her animated butt. We're talking about her character. I'm so sick.
Okay, relax.
Yeah,
we get it.
Yeah.
You don't have to expound upon that.
But you know the I remember getting in the car with my dad after we watched the first movie. Obviously, I'm fucking pumped. I'm like, yo, I want to grow up and be Hugh Jackman. You know, like literally. And he was like, hey, man.
Well, that didn't happen.
It did not. But it can still, I ain't dying yet. People who die have nothing to lose. All right.
I always do that.
So I'm glad you do that. It adds effect, I guess. But I remember him saying, he was like, that was awesome. My dad was, very happy with the movie. I mean, it's a live action X-Men movie, the first one. Who's not going to like it for the year 2000? All right. He said, it's crazy to me how Rogue.
Look forward sometimes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess I'm going to look at you.
No, because you look at me and bro, every picture that I take always has you just looking over at me. It's like, oh my god.
Maybe I'm infatuated with you, Jared.
No,
anyway,
it looks fucking annoying.
Anyway, my dad basically said, he said that whole movie was based upon how Wolverine found Rogue. Like it was like its own origin story to a degree. And if you go back and watch it, my dad was right. It's like, oh, shit. And then they take all the other X-Men, Cyclops, Storm, big major names. Beast, Kelsey Grammer, shout out to that guy. And they are prominent figures in these films, but they are not the figures in these films. And so...
yeah, nobody was the figure. It was just introducing what the X-Men are. Actually, if anybody was the prominent figure in it, it would have been Jean Grey.
Jean Grey is
because even in the second one, she ends up killing Xavier.
Jean Grey. So here, let's talk about this. Let's talk about the superheroes / villains that don't get enough credit.
And they fucked over the Phoenix. Did they even do the Phoenix in it? Yeah, they did.
They did.
It was the third one, I think.
They did the Dark Phoenix and all that other shit.
Yeah, it was kind of not that great.
You got to remember, folks, if you are a Marvel fan or an X-Men fan, Jean Grey is probably the most powerful mutant, period.
She's up there.
Up there. You can go up there with Apocalypse, Magneto, Professor X.
She's like the Darth Vader of X-Men because she was good and then she turned bad.
But isn't that great in the sense of...
I'm not saying, here we go with the storytelling. Yes, it is. I'm just saying. I'm saying as a matter of fact. I'm not having a debate about it.
All right, I'm listening.
That's what I feel she could... And that's where a lot of her power could be because when she became Dark Phoenix, like she was fucking controlling worlds damn near.
Yeah, bring.
But you gotta remember, Captain Marvel's pretty fucking strong.
So let me ask you this: I
can't wait till these motherfuckers come together.
Who, in your opinion, is the most slept-on villain of all time?
Most slept on out of what?
We
out
will
of everything.
Well, I will narrow it down. I will put it in
because I already have an answer. If you mean everything, I'll tell you right now.
Okay, go ahead.
Magneto. Magneto is the most slept on villain. 100%. Because people try to bring reality into it when his powers. Okay, so think about there's only like 5 things on Earth that we know of that are magnetic. It's like, I think maybe 3. So it's like nickel, iron, cobalt, and I forgot the others. But if you put nickel and iron together, that's make steel, or whatever. However the shit works.
Iron City.
So there's not very many. So when people are like, oh, well, not everything's magnetic. How can he do it? Like, no, it's not about whether it's magnetic. It's whether it's metal. It's about elements, you dumb fucks.
This might be the reason you're the mad scientist. Now
it
that I
could
think
be.
about it.
It could be. Everything. His power is he can fuck with anything that has metal. Metal on the periodic table is a section. So, like, we're talking like uranium, we're talking mercury, anything that's metal. It's not just because it's got to be magnetic. You know what I'm saying? It's like he can manipulate it. So just think about everything that we ever built as human beings, which we'd be on the other side because we're not mutants. Hopefully, I would be a mutant.
I would love to be a mutant, dude.
But everything we built has metal in it.
Yes, that is correct.
So he can manipulate anything. He could turn that shit into anything that he wants and fucking destroy massive amounts of people. He can entrap people. And then he has that kind of magnetic field. He can manipulate magnetic fields, bro, and surround people. Like, that's crazy. The Earth is a magnetic field. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. No, I'm not. You are not kidding me, sir. And folks out there, who is your favorite supervillain that does not get the credit? And,
most underrated supervillain.
Underrated supervillain. I think that's an excellent answer. But with the most recent episode, I think
you're gonna say Sinister, aren't you?
Oh, dude, I don't think Mr. Sinister is talked about enough in the X-Men lore. Is he better than Magneto? No, but he has this. Put it this way: when I was watching the 3rd episode this past week, you know, I'm excited. And I see Mr. Sinister, dude.
Oh, you want some super nerd shit? I don't even know. Oh, Reverse Flash. Yeah, I fuck with you on that. Oh yeah. Oh, Eobard Thorn. When you put Reverse Flash, I got it. All right. Yeah, I fuck with you on that one. He is pretty underrated, but I guess I was thinking about Star Wars and Batman too. So I guess you're right. Yeah. I fuck with that. Reverse Flash is definitely underrated.
It's hard because you got some superheroes like you just mentioned.
What's the other one? Zoom is a beast too.
Or supervillains, I should say. I mean, the top 2 for me and you, and for I think a lot of people are always going to be Darth Vader and the Joker. There is nobody that's ever going to touch that.
I rewatched Kenobi this past partly when I was in San Diego, but I finished it this past week.
How excellent,
bro,
dude! How excellent
Darth Vader is hands down.
He's the greatest villain of all time.
So fucking powerful.
He is the greatest villain of all time.
He would fuck Magneto up, dude, because Magneto can manipulate all this shit, but so can he. Like he can stop a fucking ship from taking off, crush that, bring that motherfucker down, rip the shit out of it, and then rip the people out of it.
Dude, you're talking
hands
about
down. Fucking Vader would fuck Magneto up. He would fuck Sinister up.
The prime,
it's easy, bro.
He is the dude. Darth Vader is.
We need to have a whole show on this shit.
Yeah, dude, he is like the prime villain.
We need to get Cheeto on this. We need to get Cheeto on this.
Hey, and since we're talking about our buddy Cheeto, hey man, happy belated birthday to you, brother. I know we're
he
very
don't
late.
watch this too.
Yeah, it's okay. It doesn't matter.
Happy birthday, but you don't watch it anyway. But
nah, go fuck.
And
yourself.
I told him happy birthday anyway. So
yeah, so
carrying on.
But no, dude. Watching Kenobi, you're correct. We are seeing Anakin Skywalker in his evil prime.
That was not Anakin Skywalker. That's Darth Vader.
See, I like that.
What do you mean? I just watched it.
No, but I like the way you think about it because he's no longer Anakin Skywalker.
That's what the whole fucking show is about.
Bro, it's awesome.
It's not about Kenobi. It's about him being fucking Anakin or not being Anakin anymore.
Oh, my God.
Think about it. If you rewatch it and then watch it again with fresh eyes, and I guarantee you'll be like, you know what? As usual, Jared's right. That show is not about
Kenobi.
He's a major focal point, And it kind of like fills in gaps of like what happened to Kenobi. Why did he go off into the desert? Because he was following Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah.
And they were going off to do whatever.
I love being a nerd with you, by the way. Like, please continue.
Yeah. But the biggest part of that show that I got of it after rewatching it was how powerful Vader had gotten. And it still wasn't enough, but I think that forced him to get even more powerful because he's like, oh, no, fuck this. Actually, I think he was more powerful in that series, but that was the first time they were ever able to show him doing, like, the shit that he can do. Because, like, the later movies, he only did a couple things, but, like, he'll like, grab somebody, like, by the throat with 2 fingers. And
yeah,
shit.
but that's correct. You are 100% correct, because I think that's why we're all drawn to it, because you watch the original films and you're like, oh, I know this guy can whoop some ass.
And that scene in Rogue One, like, God, at the end of Rogue One.
Oh, dude, that is probably the best 3.5 minutes of Star Wars.
I don't even think it's 3.5 minutes.
Dude,
it's like 2 minutes.
Doesn't matter. It is so badass, dude. The door opens, the saber comes out, and then just comes out and just fucks everybody up.
They just start screaming and running away. Like, oh, ain't no running, buddy.
They have done Darth Vader justice by making him the badass that he's always been. Darth Vader, we're going out here on a limb, is the greatest villain of all time.
I've been said that.
Yeah, dude.
And like even watching the show again and watching him walk, like they captured the cape perfectly, the walk, him just going through shit, and then the fight scenes, like when he fought Reva, whatever her name is, and he just she tries to hit him with the lightsaber, he just said, and pushing her back with the force, that shit was crazy, dog.
Dude, it is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, we love Darth Vader on this show. All right, period, point blank. You ain't gonna change our minds. Never at all. When I watch, I guess, any show or series or I get movie, whatever you want, entertainment, when you have somebody that is as iconic as that guy, it is so hard to top it. But I was going into Mr. Sinister, who seems to be the antagonist possibly going forward in X-Men 97.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's an awesome character that doesn't get the love he deserves. And dude, he's been around since the 1800s.
I think we're too early to be speculating on. He just, I think what he did was just bring in, kind of told the story of how, because you know who Nathaniel Summers is, right?
Well, I know. No. Here, I'm going to say no.
That's Cable.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that's their baby. That's even in the comic books. That's their baby.
Oh, holy fucking shit, dude!
Yeah,
it's crazy that I feel like I know that, but I didn't know that.
Like when I heard the name, like it triggered something. But I watched the new Rockstars on, and they kind of they.
Oh, dude!
They
and
accidentally.
That's why he has all that on his face. Oh man,
well, so far, but I think it's more to like if you see in the older ones when he has the way his eyes are. In the original, it's because I think it's because he got burned from like his eyes from like being Cyclops or whatever. I don't remember what Cable's powers are, but I don't want to look it up because I want to be surprised.
Yeah.
But whatever. We gotta move on because
we're
on a time constraint.
Yeah, no, dude. X-Men is awesome. Check it out. We would never do anything different at all in any capacity. So I guess moving forward.
Let me ask you something. You think we should give the viewers on Twitch a sneak peek for next week?
I think that's fair. I think it's always fair
okay,
to...
that's all I wanted to... We'll talk about it when we take the break, but I just want to see if they want to know.
Do you know what
there's a plus to watching us live on Twitch here. Let's put it that way. That's what we'll do.
Yeah.
You know what? We're going to do that. We have to film another show for... next week, not this week, but the week after. So next Saturday there won't be a live show, but there'll still be a show on YouTube. However, anyone who is a Twitch viewer / subscriber, follower, whatever, you guys are going to get the sneak peek.
I like that. I like the way Jared thinks. I mean, he's the mad scientist after all, and I'm just like his
So
buddy
I'm just
that
saying
sits
that
in his mother's
because we're going to
basement.
take a break and then we're going to come back at some point. We're still in the middle of this show, so keep going.
But you know, I sent you some a little bit of notes earlier. And the one thing that I think, and we don't have to go too far with it, is the catastrophic event that happened in Maryland with the bridge collapsing and the boat running into it.
Oh, yeah.
And all that.
The conspiracy theories are flying already.
Dude, immediately.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Jared! I swear to
but,
God.
But you got to remember, man, a lot of the stuff that's been happening recently, especially being lied to by the government during the COVID shit, like people don't trust the government at all.
I don't.
So you can only imagine. And plus the shit that's been proven, like in the past, the shit that the CIA has done, that's been proven. So it's like you gotta, and the fact and the way the information can be passed around. Yes, a lot of bullshit can be passed around very quickly, but information in general could be passed around very quickly, which I think is the reason they're trying to ban TikTok. But we're not going to get into that.
We will get into it.
No, we won't.
Not at this juncture.
Because it's going to piss me off.
Yeah, not at this juncture. In my Mike Tomlin voice.
I think I already got into it before, but go ahead.
But so if you live in the local area, unfortunately, something that should never happen happened.
A fucking bridge collapsed and like 20, 30 people died. Yeah, you're making it,
dude. It's crazy. But
I know.
But to feed into the, I guess, the conspiracy theory aspect of it.
And I'm sure everybody else in the world has probably seen this bridge collapse out of nowhere too.
Yeah, well, I'm not disagreeing with that at all. What I'm saying is that initially, so I woke up one day this week and I saw this unfortunate news, and you're talking about a very prominent bridge, and in this area that was hit by a huge, I guess, freight train of a boat.
It's called a cargo ship.
I understand that.
Okay.
Now, this cargo boat
ship.
I don't know, man.
Well, you don't know what? What don't you know?
So I know how science works, and I know how inertia and all that other shit, cause and effect.
Okay. Okay. I see where you're going already.
So
hold on. I know where you're going. You say inertia, cause and effect, and all right. I just want to clear this up before you finish.
Yes, sir.
Inertia. I don't know where cause and effect comes from. I mean, well, that is inertia.
No, yeah. Well, yeah. I guess that's what I was getting at when I said that. Yes.
And what was the other one?
I don't know. It just seems.
Okay, so there's one you're missing that I want. Keep going.
So, I watch this video. I understand accidents happen. I do.
Yep.
This is a big fucking accident, dude.
Yeah.
This is a big fucking accident.
Yeah.
But then when you watch it, it's like, how the fuck did this happen? How did this really happen? Because, and again, I am no engineer by any means. I do not operate a cargo ship. I do not know how a cargo ship operates in any capacity. I don't even like going out on a boat. If I go on a boat, I'm going out with Jared, and he's going to hold my hand the whole time.
No, I'm not.
And he won't. And I'm just throwing that out there.
No, I will not.
But it's like, damn, dude, when you watch that initial video, at least the one I saw, it looks like this dude just drove right into that fucking thing. But you got to remember that this is 100,000 tons of fucking metal.
Yep.
Moving at 10 miles an hour. Okay. You can't move that. I know that. I know that for a fact.
All right, can I get to my point?
If it involves roasting me, then yes.
I'm not going to roast you. I'm just going to tell you, you're missing a couple of components.
All right. Well, that's why I wanted to bring it up.
You're saying inertia / cause and effect. You said something else. What you're also forgetting is, number one, the boat lost power. This is what was said. The boat lost power.
Okay. All right.
When it was leaving the port, It lost power, so that's fine. What you're also forgetting is hydrodynamics. You don't know how the current was flowing through that port. So
okay, so
as it's
yeah,
coming out,
I like this. Go ahead.
as it's coming out, if it loses power, the current could be pushing it in a certain direction. They have no power, no steering, nothing. And I think they said there was smoke coming from it, which means it was on fire. Now, where that fire came from, I don't know. However, again, that current could have taken it where it took it. And then boom. Like, it was probably going straight, but then when it lost power, the current pulled it toward that support beam. And bridges are engineered in a manner that the support beams take all the weight.
Yeah.
So no matter like if the wind blows it up, the weight still is shifted. That's why there's triangles on, because the weight is still in he does AI, but I feel like Lana knows a little bit about engineering too. The weight is still pushed back down into those supports. So you take out one of the supports, and then the weight of the rest of the bridge is put somewhere. It's gonna tear the rest of it down.
No, and I don't, and I will be 100% honest. I don't think this was.
You didn't do cantilevers in school?
Yes, dude.
It's the same principle.
I don't think this was a conspiracy theory. I don't think it is. I think this is just a very unfortunate accident. But it amazes me how quick everybody is to say, "Hey, you know what?" And just like you were saying when we were saying,
10 years from now, it may come out that it was a fucking maybe 5 days from now, it may come out that there was some organization, organization.
Because when I God forbid, dude, that we have to see something like this happen in person, especially locally, or no matter where it happens, it is sad. Could you imagine if that happened in rush hour traffic, dude? Especially in this area. I mean, dude, it's catastrophic.
If it was rush hour, it would have been much worse than it was. Again, luckily, it was as early as it was, and there was not as many people on the bridge. Unfortunately, there were still people. Imagine you just driving along trying to go home one night, especially late at night. You could have been coming from the club, and you just like tired. Like, let me just get home. The kids need to eat or some shit. And next thing you know, you fucking in the fucking water.
Yeah, you in the river, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and I cannot. And my heart goes out to those people. I mean, that is a very scary situation.
Many times as I saw the video and I started seeing how many cars were, I was like, oh my! Even if you were like in the middle to that, it's. I mean,
imagine, dude. The initial video that I personally saw was the guy that got off the bridge like maybe a half hour before, and he was about to go back over it, and he said, "Hey, I just got off of work, blah blah blah," and he's filming this whole thing occur. I mean, this is a bridge. This is a very local bridge that people use every single day to commute. This isn't some dusty bridge.
I've used it plenty of times.
I have used it too.
Okay, relax.
I'm sorry. I'm being a little aggressive. But dude, that in particular, it's a very scary situation. People already probably have nerves going over a bridge because they're worried about it falling apart, and this is like literally like a legit nightmare happening. And I think at the end of the day, I think it's a very unfortunate scenario. I think that just like you said, and you elaborated on the tides, if a ship loses power, I can't steer it. So therefore the water is going to push me wherever I want.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And unfortunately, and shout out to the gentleman who did his best to not allow that to happen. You're going to get people out there, and we like to dig into conspiracies a little bit sometimes, but this I truly, truly feel is just an unfortunate accident, and it just couldn't happen at the worst time and all this shit. And then I open up social media, which is the devil. Okay, it is. I see, oh, hey, they're trying to gentrify Maryland. They can sell blocks for $1. They can do this. They can do that.
Let's put it this way. Baltimore has been in shambles for a long time. And I can tell you by experience of trying to do real estate investment in that area at one point that it's been cheap for a while.
Extremely cheap.
So I don't want to hear nobody talking about they're trying to gentrify. If anything, It needs to be gentrified. And that sounds like a weird thing to say. But there's some areas that are like, fuck, there's houses in certain neighborhoods that are just boarded up. And they're like townhouses.
Yeah.
And they're just boarded up. And there's people living 2 doors down. And this one's boarded up. This one's boarded up. And they're available for purchase. But nobody wants to purchase anything because 2 streets down, 2 blocks down, or not even 2, like on the end of the corner, you got guys dealing. Just like the Wire's not a fucking lie.
Dude,
that's based on a fucking true story. That's, you know why it was so good? Because it's based on real life shit.
Hey, shout out to my good man, Jim McNulty.
I don't know. Whatever. Fuck all that. I don't know who that is, but like that shit is real. That is really Baltimore. And anybody who like, oh, that's just Hollywood. No, Baltimore, The Wire was not Hollywood. I've been there. I've seen it myself. I remember when we were going to look at houses in that area. As soon as we pulled up, I saw a deal going down, like literally right here. Like as far as that camera is to me, that camera is to me right now.
We can arguably say that The Wire is the most accurate depiction
100%.
of everyday life here in
not
in
Baltimore.
In Baltimore, obviously. But no, but you know what? There's a reason, but you're right. There's a reason that shit resonates and everybody consider it, even above Breaking Bad. They consider it the best show ever made. Because you know why? It's
Breaking Bad's not real.
Right? No, but it's fucking damn good.
It's good, but it's not real. Ain't no fucking high school teacher gonna get cancer and start selling meth. And it become a world class fucking meth dealer. No, that's impossible. There's really motherfuckers on the streets of Baltimore selling drugs on a regular, and little homies and people getting killed on a regular. Like,
that show, do you know what's crazy? That show is so raw, dude. I think people, if they were to watch it today, they, you know what I'm sick of?
I've never had I'll be real with you. Aside from when I was a kid and we went to the Baltimore Aquarium, I've never really had a fully good experience in Baltimore.
The only time I went to Baltimore, or some of the only times I went to Baltimore, I went to the arena, right? Or the stadium. To watch a football game.
You talking about some damn fucking Steelers shit?
Yeah. Well. My point is that stadium is in the middle of the fucking hood, dude. It really is. Like I
know. This is where I was looking to buy houses. Like a couple blocks up from there.
Yeah,
is where I'm talking about,
dude. I mean, you want to talk about being in the motherfucking hood, dude?
And then they got that casino.
Respectfully,
then they got the casino a little bit farther down where you can see the stadium. And then just beyond that stadium is those houses that I was talking about, where they're like half of the block is boarded up and the other half is people living in it.
But to your credit, you're talking about these homes being boarded up and people standing on the corner, dude. Went out to Baltimore, cold February day, raining, very nasty weather. Go outside and, dude, you got football fans gathering around for whatever game is about to occur. And you look at the surrounding area, dude. Dude, when we parked our vehicle, we were literally behind somebody's house in a backyard, and that looked like a basketball court to a degree. So it was just very, it's very real. It's very real, and I don't think people understand that. And
there's a lot of places in America that look like that.
I know, but I think to really absorb it in person is different. Because you're talking about it's like this is the NFL, the billion-dollar business.
I feel like this show has become a not humanitarian, but like, what's the shit in college you had to take? Humanities. It's a humanities class in American culture.
Well, I think
it's not even fucking a comedy anymore.
Well, no, the way I think about this show now, I think, and it's funny you say that. I thought about it earlier in the week. Because I want to do my best not to be overly drawn out and be overly emotional. I want to be the best guest, and even though I'm not doing it right now.
You're not a guest. That's the difference.
Well, I'm a host.
I know, you're not a guest. That's what I'm saying. You're saying you're looking at it through the lens of a guest. You're a host. You're supposed to help.
And if I
guide the show.
And I like to think I do, but
you do. I'm not saying you don't. I'm just saying.
But
we need to decide whether we are a comedy or we're a fucking humanities course in American culture.
But I think with the and I agree with you 100%. I think that as long as we've done this podcast and as good as it is, because it's fucking great, you should listen to it all the time when you go to bed, motherfuckers, is that I think that me and you have grown and evolved as people, and that will reflect in the show. Maybe it shouldn't to some degree sometimes, but I think it's I honestly think it's healthy for me and you.
I understand that. I see what you're saying, but I don't know. I think here's what I'll say. I think the fact that we only hang out when we do this show turns this into whatever we should be saying outside of the show is what we're saying here.
All right. I think that's fair. But I think I've also been the type of individual, and this is me, strictly me speaking, that shit, how should I put this? How should I word this?
And this is just me. I don't know. I could be wrong. People might like this shit.
No.
Doesn't show in the numbers, but
What? Well, look, dude, the one thing I'm always going to say to you personally is that all that other nonsense aside, I'm going to do this with you until we're both fucking rotten in the earth, dude.
No, same here.
Yeah. So that stuff doesn't affect my mind at all. What does affect my mind?
I need to get a timer or something so you see what, because we got another show to do.
Is that
this man does not hear what I'm saying.
I heard you. I saw you tap your watch. I got you, brother. Don't worry. I just don't want to leave on a negative note. No, but I just feel that we are kind of growing as adults, as people, and sometimes that might bleed over into it. I would never want it to take away from the initial thing, but I think it's good too. I think this is things, as much as me and you might not like it, because I don't like it, like the shit that everybody throws, or that they watch every day. They're like, oh, look at this. That sometimes we might have to kind of bleed into that a little bit, and I don't like it. I would like us to be our own entity, just as you would.
I mean, we already are. I guess I'm saying like I don't know. I wanted this to be a comedy, but it has not been that way for a while, and I don't know.
Well, maybe I should be funnier, and
I'm not. It's just serious shit always gets brought up. I don't know what it is. I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe because I don't have enough. I'm not getting enough time on stage to do my shit. But like sometimes I want to be able to do at least some bits to kind of get the gauge of whether shit works or not.
I got you. And we got you because
I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it.
And
this is supposed to be, for me, it's kind of an extension of, and I've also been thinking about this, just do like a solo joint at my house and maybe making that be the funny thing, me commenting on certain stuff. I don't know.
That's all right. Dude, I hear you, bro. I hear you. You're my friend. You are my brother. And this is the Mad Scientist Lab podcast. You can catch us anywhere you get your podcasts. That is Apple Music, Spotify. Oh, sorry, I had a brain fart. Apple Music, Spotify, all that good shit where you get your audio. And please, 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 if you're sitting there taking a shit, taking a shower, hanging out with your wife and you don't like her, check us out on YouTube, 9 a.m. on Mondays, because it is super cool. So we will see you guys next week. As always, please like, share, comment, subscribe, and review. Peace.
They're up there now.
What's that?
Never mind.
So hard you won't see nothing ever, 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 ever.
Audio skulls all day.
The Mad Scientist Lab. The Mad Scientist Lab. The Mad Scientist Lab. The Mad Scientist Lab.
have an opinion on something that you haven't even tried.
Exactly.
The merit scientist.